Hello, I'm Kurt Lidke, Executive Director of Klamath Film, and you just watched Alice in Nighthawk, a very unique story told entirely through interpretive dance in a way seldom seen in our Northern Shorts category for the Klamath Independent Film Festival. Joining us now is the director of this fascinating short film, Devin Tao. Devin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if this interview should be done with words like I've done all the others, or if I need to ask questions through interpretive dance. And I don't think I'm good enough to pop and lock to do that very clearly, so it might get lost in translation. Are you okay if I ask questions rather than try to pop and lock them?
Only this time.
Okay. I get my one get out of jail free card on that. Great. Uh, So we've got to know just how the concept for this film came about and what sort of director is crazy enough to say I'm going to make a film with zero dialogue told entirely through dance because there's challenges in filmmaking, but this is almost like a dare among directors.
Yeah, so I had the amazing opportunity to have been commissioned to direct the film, and how the program worked was film directors are paired with a choreographer, and so I don't have any dance experience, and but I've had um, quite a few filmmaking opportunities. So this is the 10th film that I've been able to direct. And it was a great creative exercise in terms of working with the choreographer in coming up with the concept. And we're having one rehearsal, whereas the first time we're seeing the choreography. And that's when we're really finalizing our shot list and blocking and be able to have direction for the background actors on top of that.
Okay. Casting for this film. Was it coordinated entirely just through one local dance company? Were there individual auditions? Like, how did that all come together?
Yeah, so from a casting perspective, we the all the principal dancers were from the Northwest, the Heidi Duckler Northwest Dance Company, and so that part was pretty easy. And in good old indie filmmaking, Portland style, we had multiple social media posts for the background actors, and we were lucky to get about 15 of them to come for the overnight shoot.
Fantastic. So it was just shot in one night then.
Yes, yeah, one overnight shoot, and then one rehearsal on top of that.
Oh, that's quick. So the choreographer for the film, Heidi Duckler, was also the writer of it. Now, there's a grand tradition of musicals in Hollywood with fantastic dance choreography, but it's not done a lot these days, with a few notable exceptions like La La Land. Um, this film takes a completely different spin on things from that golden age of Hollywood style of musicals, though. The choreography for this film is the entire story. So, what kind of challenges were there from the director perspective in presenting that?
My objective in directing this film was to bring a solid narrative to what is otherwise a silent and dance film. And so, not to diminish other dance films or the dance medium as a whole, but it was very, very important for me to have a storyline that was very clear, given the fact that we didn't have dialogue. And so I placed the priority in terms of the action and the shooting and the editing styles to ensure that we had a really strong beginning, middle, and end. The conflicts were very obvious, and the resolution was also hopefully just as compelling and fulfilling.
How much pre-production prep and rehearsal went into this? Because there's hitting your mark on set, but choreography this precise and interwoven and intricate takes that concept to a whole new level.
For sure. Uh, so I wanted to challenge myself and direct my first dance film, and I think I'm really happy that I did. I'm not sure I want to do another one. Working with modern dance choreographers and modern dancers, are literally from a different background and perspective. Everything is improvisational. Um, they don't like rehearsals. There was no formal script, so we really couldn't shot list in advance because we didn't know what the choreography was. So my DP, Zach Osterhout, we felt very unprepared, having come from a narrative world and even from a documentary world. We have a lot more control as filmmakers. So in this case, we were almost secondary, and so we had to have a lot of trust with each other and then with the choreographer. And at one point, I actually wrote a fake script with dialogue and with action in order to try to convey the emotional states of mind that the dancers were going
Right.
through. And then that was just something Zach and I shared, so then that we had motivated camera movements, we had motivated lighting, and that way the dance could be front and center, and then everything from the technical filmmaking perspective could really help highlight that, and then bring the story front and center.
The other aspect of that too would be the set locations, because typically choreography for dance is being done on a stage, not inside a bar or a restaurant that has tables in the way and bars, and not realizing that okay, the audience isn't static. The camera is going to move around, so there's going to be different angles and whatnot. What kind of problems or challenges did that create?
The venue was a great opportunity from for me to let's try this again. Um, The venue for the dance film provided a nice mix of challenges and opportunities. So Heidi is specializes in location specific choreography. So what that
Okay.
means is the choreography only exists within the physical location. So that because of that style, that also restricted the exact choreography until we really were going to shoot. And so uh, the so the, the positive aspect of having choreography that's specific to the location is it's very specific, and there's a lot more correlation and intimacy between the movements, and as it is relates to the physical location. So I think in that respect, it really tells a more compelling story. At the same time, it makes it hard for us filmmakers that doing the technical filming to be very much. We have to be very much on our toes. So as we're seeing things, sometimes for the first time at the rehearsal, and of course with each take, the dancers would kind of do it a little bit differently. So continuity definitely presents an opportunity or a challenge for us when we got to post production and editing. In addition, hitting their marks, hitting the timing, that was also very interesting. We shot everything without music, so um, that it wasn't like the music video where we played music and they just danced to the music, which even though I don't have any experience in music videos, that was something that I was expecting or at least hoping for. And so I definitely want to acknowledge the amazing feat that the dancers were able to do stuff in unison, even do things complementary without any music. And I even proposed at one point to do like a click track, so at least we had a beat to dance to and move to, but they didn't even need that. So I was really impressed by their ability to just dance at all, and then on top of that, be in unison, and then at other times doing different gestures.
So was the music then composed afterwards, because the movement follows beat by beat with the dancers? So if you're not playing music on set, how does that work?
Movie magic. Yeah. So in order to sync up the dance with the music that was composed after the fact, we actually um, had an intermediary step, which is we had to edit to a, a temp track before we had the music. And so from that respect, the edit was very tight to the temp track. When the music composer came on and composed the music, he was composing a very different style and tempo to the temp track. So that was very interesting. It took a lot of negotiation and finessing to find the convergence of how that's going to work. Um, I think at the end of the day, I like to think it worked out okay, but for sure it was quite a creative, um, uh, like whiplash to be to have to jump from one milestone to the next with literally everything changing. So yeah, that's probably why I'm a little bit shy to do another dance film.
I know a director in Hollywood who worked on a musical, and he said it was a great experience. I never want to do it again. So I there's definite added challenges to that I could see coming up. But your film is utterly fascinating, entertaining, and jaw dropping because it's not like much else that I've seen before. Even in the musical genre, it's not like anything else. Through the interpretive dance, because there's no dialogue. Um, the music keeps it driving, but it actually takes kind of a somber tone with the story. So what do you hope that people get out of the the film when they see it?
So in spite of the log line, I think it would just boil down like what would I want um, the viewer to walk away with is really it, the goal of the film is really to portray the complexities of human relationships. And in spite of our mental and physical and geographic states, things are always changing, and you can break away from your friend group for a while and come back and wanting things to go back to how they were, but that's not necessarily how it works, right? And so we wanted to tell kind of a melancholy story, but with a happy ending, which is to showcase the different trials and tribulations that people have within their relationships and their friend groups, and that at the end of the day, you're going to have conflicts, but hopefully you can resolve them and get back together. Yeah, not necessarily the same way as before, but in a evolved way that's hopefully for the better.
Working with people who are so uniquely talented, even with the film being a bit darker, it can't always be serious on set all the time. So, and especially with something that is so intricate with all of the steps and everything having to be just perfect. I'm sure there were some bloopers, right? So, anything really funny or memorable that you can share from behind the scenes about Allison Nighthawk's production?
Um, there are definitely a lot of bloopers, but I'd have to kill you if I told you about them. Um, but some other anecdotes, which is something that I do feel really strongly about as an indie filmmaker in Portland. I've been so blessed, and I find the city just so embracing of indie film. This was the second location that we scouted, and they were hesitant at first to let us shoot there, but once they said yes, they were all in. They didn't want any money. The owner um, fed us for both the rehearsal and the shoot night. Like what can I buy you? Like what can I get you? And he was just so amazing. Like we'll shut down the bar, we'll shut down the restaurant, whatever you need. Let me know. It it um, I'm just constantly very pleasantly surprised and so grateful on both the small and the medium and the larger businesses in Portland so willing to support filmmaking. Yeah, I wouldn't want to trade that for any other place.
Almost always things get cut from films for time or cohesive story reasons, but with something that is so meticulously choreographed and telling a story, was there anything from the story arc that could actually get clipped? Because this feels like it might be the exception to the rule where everything that you started with ended up being in the finished product, and that never ever happens, right?
No, no. Sadly, similar to any film, we did have to edit some stuff out. The trailer actually um, has this really great opening of the solo dancers, and originally that was supposed to be the opening of the film. And when we were editing it together, it didn't work like had we had thought. Um, And so the compromise was we'll use that as the trailer. And so it's kind of a mixed blessing because the trailer is entirely footage that's not in the film, and we also came up Justin Rapp, the amazing editor. He's normally my DP, but in this case, he edited it, came up with some creative compositing treatments, and so it really complemented the dance elements and really set a nice tone in terms of the visual um, story of the film in terms of dance style and in color and in music.
So this is not your first film that's been at Klamath Independent Film Festival. Like you said, you've done 10 different films. Last year was Unicorn, if I remember correctly, right?
I think
Or
last year was Malignant.
oh, okay, that's right. That's right. Sorry.
The
But
year
yeah,
before
so you've
Unicorn, yeah,
okay. Um,
and then
so
Eve, the prologue.
so filming in Oregon, what is it about filming in Oregon that's kind of unique?
Well, I think besides the natural beauty, ranging from mountains to cities to oceans, and I think Southern Oregon even has more diverse landscape diversity. I can't wait to shoot on what's that desert place just east of Klamath?
Are you talking about the Alvord Desert or the like the
Yes.
Bly area or
Now
yeah?
that yeah, Albert, like I can't wait to film there. Oregon, we're so lucky being in Oregon to have literally landscape and cityscapes that it includes like 50 states, right? There's so much diversity in the natural beauty of the state. On top of that, I think I'm lucky being in Northern Oregon. There's such a strong and talented filmmaking crew and also talent, and so I just really love filming in Portland and the greater Portland area. On top of that, I think our state has one of the best film incentives in the country, if not the world. My I just finished a feature documentary, Who's on Top, and we were lucky to get a couple of state and local grants, and on top, and in addition, qualify for the LOPIF program and the ROPIF program. And so we wouldn't have been able to make that film without the generosity of the state incentives.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So thank you, Devin, so much for taking some time out to talk to us and being available. In addition to this film, Allison Nighthawk being available online through Eventive for the Klamath Independent Film Festival, people can also check it out in person at the Ross Ragland Theater here in Klamath Falls on Sunday, September 20th at 4 p.m. for the 8th annual Klamath Independent Film Festival. Devin, thank you so much for taking some time out.
Thank you.